Most budgies love taking a bath. It's pretty easy to do, as your budgie will do most of the work by fluffing up her feathers to let the water down near his or her skin. Before we start, make sure to subscribe. Tap the bell to get notified about all new videos. Bird baths are made of plastic, usually transparent, and can be attached to the outside of the cage and can be filled with a small layer of water. Don't put in too much water. A thin layer of approximately 1/2 inch or 1 to 1/2 centimeter of water is plenty. It's a great deal of fun watching budgies splashing around. A bath encourages your bird to preen, and it also helps remove dirt and other debris from your bird's feathers. Most budgies love taking a bath. Fill a shallow bowl with lukewarm water. Water should only be 1 inch or 2 deep. It shouldn't be too cold, as budgies are susceptible to cold. You can also find baths that attach to the side of your bird's cage. If you find your bird doesn't like the bowl of water, you can also try wet grass or greens at the bottom of a clean cage. Your bird will enjoy rolling in them as a way of bathing. You do not need to use soap. Put a towel under the cage if you're worried about water splashing out. Set a towel under the cage. It will help catch the splashing. Place the bowl in the bottom of the cage. Set the bath in the bottom where your budgie can jump in. Make sure it's on a level surface. If you prefer, you can also fill up your sink with a small amount of water. Take the budgie in there and close the door so she can't fly away. However, make sure your sink is clean first. Let the budgie play. Budgies will splash and flutter in the water. The splashing is the budgie giving themselves a bath. Most budgies enjoy this process immensely. If your budgie doesn't jump in immediately, give her a chance to get used to it. Let your bird dry off. Your bird will shake herself to get the water off. However, make sure that the area that they are drying off in isn't breezy or cool. You might want to cover his or her cage with a towel to help. Clean out the bath. After you bathe your bird, take the bowl or bath out of the cage. Make sure to wash it out thoroughly and wash your hands when you're done. Find or buy a spray bottle. You can also often find them in the gardening section of a home improvement store. An alternative to a spray bottle is a perch you can place in your own shower, which you can usually find at pet stores. Just place your shower head on a gentle spray and turn the water on lukewarm. Fill the spray with lukewarm to warm water. Once again, you don't want the water to be too cold. Budgies and other small birds are susceptible to cold. Turn the spray head to mist. Most spray bottles have several settings. You don't want a thin stream of water. You need a fine mist for your bird's bath. Spray the water over your bird. You want to create a gentle mist that showers down over your bird. Don't spray them right in the face, as most birds will not like that. Let your bird dry off. Your bird will dry herself off. Just make sure the area where they are drying off in is warm and free of cool breezes. Watch next. Getting a budgie things you need. Or how to tell if your pet likes you.
Det sker jo af, at jeg bliver klogere, men det er da sjældent, jeg bliver så meget klogere på så kort tid. Find de bedste julegaver hos Jysk. Kom til Møbeldag og spar 20-50% på alle indendørsmøbler. For eksempel spar 50% på Danstrup skydedørsgarderober i specialmål. Eller vælg mellem disse komfortable spisestole for kun 200 kroner. Spar op til 50%. Tilbudene gælder kun fredag, lørdag og søndag. Vi ses i Jysk eller køb på jysk.dk. Jysk. Et godt tilbud.
Before we start, make sure to subscribe. Tap the bell to get notified about all new videos. The cage. The budgie's cage is its home, shelter, and safe place. This cage should be appropriate size for the number of budgies kept in it. Unfortunately, pet stores often sell cages that are too small for any bird to be kept in on a permanent basis. An appropriately sized cage should allow the budgie freedom of movement and room to flap its wings. Perches should be positioned so that the budgie has to hop or fly from perch to perch. Try not to impede on this by overcluttering the cage with toys or other items. The cage, perches, and accessories should always be kept clean. Don't position the cage directly in front of a window or near any doors and windows, heating and AC vents, etc. Also, don't place the cage where a bright lamp or light fixtures would be pointing directly at it. If at any time your budgie appears to become nervous because of something going on in the house, people moving furniture, a moving ceiling fan, etc., cover part or all of the cage until the commotion is over. At night, cover the cage for security and keep a nightlight on. How to keep a budgie's cage warm. Budgies, or parakeets as you probably know them, are warm weather birds. To prevent your feathered friend from becoming a bird sickle, you need to make sure the cage is warm at all times. Set the cage in a place away from drafts. Sure, windows are fun. They allow your budgie to get some sun and a great view of the outdoors. But if there's cold wind coming in through the seams, things can get chilly rather quickly. Get a bird-safe heat lamp. Yes, there is such a thing, though you might need to find a large pet store or farm product supplier to get your hands on one. These infrared heating lamps or panels never get scorching hot, so there's no fire hazard and no risk of overheating your feathered friend. Buy a warm mist air humidifier to turn your home into the equivalent of a sticky tropical rainforest. That doesn't sound too tempting? Move the cage to a room where Birdie can get the tropics and you won't have to suffer in the process. Humidity not only keeps the cage warm, but also helps prevent dander and dry skin. Can't afford a humidifier right now? Old-fashioned tricks like placing damp towels on top of your radiator will also increase the humidity in the room. Cover the cage with a fleece blanket at night. Move the cage away from windows first, as glass gets cold when the temperature goes down. Make sure the blanket is big enough that it completely covers the cage, so there's no draft of cold air getting in. Escape hazards. Open doors and windows are obvious escape hazards. Never let your budgie out of its cage while there are open doors or windows, even if its wings are clipped. If a door or window does have a screen, check and make sure it is securely in place and that there are no holes. When your budgie is out and about, make sure everyone in the family/household is aware so that they don't accidentally leave a door or window open. If you live with other people, be sure to warn everyone that your budgie is out of its cage so that they may be extra cautious about opening doors or windows. Furthermore, never take your budgie outside without a proper bird harness, even if their wings are clipped. Clipped birds can gain lift and fly away if startled. Physical hazards around the home. Don't let your budgie fly free in an area or room of the house until you've established that it is bird safe. Be sure that there are no fans running and that the blinds or curtains are at least partly drawn on the windows. Also, if there are large mirrors in the room, you should place stickers or ribbons on them. Budgies can accidentally fly into windows and mirrors and injure themselves badly. Once your budgie learns the layout of your home, you may be able to remove the mirror decorations and have the blinds or curtains open. You also need to make sure that there is nothing your budgie could land on that might fall, such as trophies or decorations up on shelves. Reduce the amount of exposed electrical and computer cords to a bare minimum, and always keep your budgie away from these. Remove any plants unless you know they are safe for birds. Examine the area or room from a bird's point of view and try to identify and remove anything that might be a hazard. Even if you're sure a room is bird safe, you should never leave your budgie out of its cage unattended. You never know what kind of trouble he or she might get into, such as nibbling a stray cord, chewing your favorite book, falling behind furniture, or getting hurt accidentally. Like humans, budgies love their toys. A selection of swings, bells, balls, and homemade playthings will fill your pet's life with fun, mental stimulation, and endless excuses for exercise. A budgie deprived of toys will be a sad bird indeed, suffering both physically and mentally. Budgies like to climb, jump, swing, and flap, and to probe their environment with beak and feet. Anything non-toxic that they can chew on will entertain them for hours. Swap them every couple of days. Don't be tempted to throw all the toys in there at once and clutter up the cage bottom. Don't impede the budgie's flying space either. This is especially important if you have a small cage where the bird's flight path options are already limited. Household cleaners and chemicals. You should never let your budgie come into contact with household cleaners or chemicals. Additionally, birds have very sensitive respiratory systems, and you must avoid using aerosol or sprayed products, including cleaners, fragrances, deodorizers, and beauty products around your budgies, as well as cleaners with strong chemical smells or fragrances.